Oh my God, this Mick Mulvaney dude is evil. He is pure evil. But so is Tom Price, and I think it's a toss-up between who's the most smarmy. Because Tom Price told cancer patients who said, I need my Medicaid because I was, saved by Medicaid. I had, a third stage colon cancer, and I was saved by Medicaid. And he actually looks this guy in the eye and he goes, well, I'm glad it works for you, but you know what? It doesn't work for everybody. And so, too bad, we're going to cut it. I mean, that town hall, I don't know how many people saw it, but it was the most sickening, disgusting thing. And then the next girl that came up, she said, well, I also have Medicaid, and I was diagnosed at age 29 with breast cancer, and thank God for Medicaid, and thank God for Planned Parenthood, where I got my breast screening. I caught it, and I'm good, and I survived it. And he said, well, I'm glad Medicaid works for you and for him, but it doesn't work for anybody else. We're cutting it. I mean, it was the sickest thing. That's who these people are. They are just smarmy, lying sacks of crap. But let's deal with Mulvaney's claim that after school programs have not, for 1.6 million kids, which is what he's talking about here, that he's cutting. It's called the 21st Century Community Learning Centers. That is what he's cutting, okay? And it affects 1.6 million kids. And he says there's no evidence to prove that it helps kids learn. Well, the study after study after study that have been done on these 21st Century Community Learning Centers, which supports before and after school programs for 1.6 million kids, has been studied by the Harvard Family Research Project and others. I'll just give you this one. They have shown over and over again that these programs do help students' performance in terms of grades. That's important. Test scores, attendance, participation in class, and more. The Global Family Research Project, which is the Harvard Family Research Project now, and the After School Alliance, who also did research on this, they're a nonpartisan organization. They said, I don't know what he's talking about. Quote, there's a lot of evidence engaging kids in high quality after school and programs, many of which are supported by 21st Century Community Learning Centers grants, results in kids doing better in school. They're more likely to graduate, and they're more likely to excel in the labor market. Hey, let's cut that crap out. Let's just, let's just hobble that program, because according to Mick Mulvaney, he hasn't seen any, and the Meals on Wheels program, oh my God. You have elderly people who cannot leave their apartments. They can't leave their homes. And maybe the only person they see all day is the Meals on Wheels delivery person. I mean, you wonder why you see commercials all of a sudden for Meals on Wheels. This is why suddenly you see commercials for Meals on Wheels, because they know that even though they're running short of meals, I mean, like millions of meals short, and they're already operating at a deficit, that this guy was going to come in and cut that program back to the bone, and that, senior citizens were going to have to go and do what we used to talk about in the 80s, eat cat food for dinner. Now, let me show you why I know this is Reagan's budget, okay? I went and researched, some of the older newspaper articles about Ronald Reagan and about his budget so that I could read them to you so that you can compare what Trump proposed, which obviously, it cuts. Look, the slight winner here is the Pentagon, as you know. Everything else is a loser. The National Institutes of Health, their cancer research project, the Moonshot for Cancer, has been cut by $5 billion in this budget. Urban development, he said he was going to fix the inner cities. The housing and urban development cuts, 13% cuts. And that includes everything from affordable housing, community development, legal aid for people who have no access to lawyers, like if the bank should redline them and they're trying to open up a store, they have access to legal aid. It cuts all that. The EPA, Health and Human Services Research, the State Department, the Labor Department, agriculture. Whenever you hear agriculture, think food stamps, okay? Think ABT cards. Transportation, where's his infrastructure investment? It's not there. The only money that goes to infrastructure is the money to start building the wall. Everything else takes a hit. Everything else in development is cut or canceled. The Commerce Department is cut. Schools are cut. Public broadcasting disappears. The Appalachian Regional Commission. Now, this is the problem. People in Appalachia don't even know that they have such a thing as the Appalachian Regional Commission. What do they do? Well, let's see. Between October 2012 and January 2017, so this is current, right? The Appalachian Regional Commission supported 55 projects with only $24 million. Okay, this is where he's cutting. Only $24 million. Those investments have been matched by state funds, another $24.6 million in state and local funds. And what does it do? It develops critical infrastructure. What is that? That's broadband. That's water. That's sewer. We were talking about that yesterday. $13 million has gone toward entrepreneurial and business strategies to teach people how to be small business owners, how to be entrepreneurs. In fact, it created 2,750 jobs and educated 16,500 students and people who are looking to cross-train out of coal mining into opening up a store or learning business. That's where they're cutting.